I picked up on something you said that I thought was really important. You said they'll also develop you or speak back to you. And I think that's one of the keys that makes you and other great leaders successful, is that you're willing to let people speak into your life. And I'd like to press you a little bit. You said one time you do whatever you want, you work whenever you want. Well, truthfully, you work a lot.
But that's when I want.
Makes sense. Your schedule is really intense. Can you tell me what kind of personal changes have you had to make to sustain the growth and to stay healthy in a wave that could overtake you and cause you to burn out?
Well, I think one thing is that first and foremost, what we do is a calling, and you too. I mean, if you've got a calling on your life, it's not work. It's fun. I mean, I get up, go to the office, it's like other people going to Six Flags, you know? I mean, I'm having a blast. I have fun on stage, I have fun on camera, I have fun watching people change their lives after giving them God's ways of handling money. It's just rewarding. I'm just on fire all the time. That's thing one. As you're functioning in your calling, you're not going to burn out. Now, you can still burn out if you push it to the edge. And then I think thing two is accountability. And you can't have people in your life who just plant themselves there and say, I'm going to hold you accountable. That's just fake. It just doesn't work. People have to earn the right to hold you accountable. And so 27 years with my wife, Sharon, she doesn't think anything at all about holding me accountable.
Well, let me ask you this. What are some of the things that, like in your business / ministry, what are some things you ask people to hold you or your employees? What do you ask, say, hold me accountable here? What are some of those things that you watch for?
Righteousness. You got to keep our lives clean. I do the Billy Graham thing, man. I don't get on an elevator with a woman, period. I don't go into a hotel room. I'm weird about this stuff because one even little appearance of evil and this whole thing comes toppling down. Even if it didn't happen, if it just looked like it did and somebody could make it, twist it with a camera lens or whatever. No, can't go there. And so that's one thing, is that we've got to hold each other accountable on that big time. It's got to be clean. It can't be perfect. We're not perfect. We need grace. But, I mean, you got to, on the big issues, man, you've got to keep this thing crystal clear. And I'm real hard on my leaders about that, and they're real hard on me about that. I got 12 guys that I put in my life 7 years ago that are all national players. They play in their fields at a national level, and we meet every Wednesday morning. And we call them our Eagles group. They're all Eagles. There's not a turkey in the bunch. And these are guys that they're not impressed with me. And I'm not really impressed with them, even though some of them are pretty big dogs. But I know they're junk, and they know my problems and my foibles, and they'll call me out. They see me say something on the television or hear me say something on the radio that's a little twisted or something. The spirit felt wrong on it. I had one of them the other day call me about 3 weeks ago. He called me and said, that didn't sound right. I want to call you on that. It sounded like you were bragging. And you need to be bragging on God. You don't need to be bragging on you. It sounded, you presented it wrong. He knows I didn't mean to because it's not my heart, but he called me on it. You got to have that stuff, man. And the bigger you get, the bigger it takes the bigger dog it takes to bust you.
I think I'm soaking that in. I think it's so true because, I've got people who do that to me all the time. They're just say, you're out of line there, you pushed it too much, and if you get above that, you're going to fall hard. And it's obvious. It's been fun to watch you grow from a distance, just to see you develop as a person. And I just compliment you and your team on handling all that God has given you. And I think you've been faithful with a little, and now He's given you a lot, and I know He's going to give you a lot more. I'd like to just ask about Financial Peace University. This is something that it impacted my personal life. And can you tell us, 13 weeks, that's a long time, people are busy. What do you think someone can really get out of putting their head down and digging in for 13 weeks?
Well, Financial Peace University is, it's not magic. It's not going to make everything okay instantly for you. It's not, your whole life is fixed in this one box thing. But what we have found over literally having just under 1 million people go through the class over these years, and we've polished it and we've learned what to teach and how to teach it. It's the, like the 4th or 5th set of videos that we've created to teach it with. You go once a week for 13 weeks. I'm going to teach you a lesson that you should have learned in high school about insurance or real estate or saving or relationships and money, kids and money, all these different things, investments, budgeting, getting out of debt, of course. We're going to teach you that stuff. And then the DVD is turned off. Now, the DVD is pretty good. I mean, we spent a lot of money on it. I've been doing this a while. It's polished. But you know what? That's not what changes people's lives. It's kind of frustrating, as much money as I spent on it. But it's not what changes people's lives. What changes people's lives is there's a small group leader who puts chairs in a circle, and they sit there and they love people well. And they call them out on their stuff. They hold them accountable. And that husband and wife right there that aren't acting right, they call them out on their marriage. That single that's scared, they lift them up and encourage them. And that's what changes people's lives. You know, Weight Watchers doesn't sell magic food. What changes people's lives with Weight Watchers is they know they got to get on the scale on Tuesday or whatever their day is. And if that scale is in your future, you can walk past the Haagen-Dazs. Accountability will cause you to modify behavior, and we're seeing this class for that reason literally change people's lives. And it's not Dave Ramsey and it's not Financial Peace University. That's the brand that it's all packaged and how we market it and how we move it as a merchant in the marketplace. But what's happening is God's truth is intersecting hearts. And when it does, there is always surgery.
Yeah, it is life-changing. It really, really is. I want to set up this question and say something and let you answer the question. You're with the people that I love and value. You're talking to pastors around the world, and I'd like to give you a chance in just a moment to say anything you'd like to say spiritually to us, to be an encouragement. And while you're kind of thinking about just one thing, closing thought you'd like to say to the people that I love and value, I just want to say to you, thank you for your focus. Thank you for your integrity. Thank you for being a guy that I feel the freedom to promote and someone that I like to stand next to. And personally, I just preach so passionately the debt-free lifestyle because it's made our marriage better. It's made us, it's given us the freedom to be more generous than we could ever imagine. And it is life-changing, and I want that for all the people that I love. And so I just want to say thank you for that. And then in closing, could you just say anything that you think would be spiritually important to impart to the people that I love and value?
Well, pastors, what I would tell you is that we, the people, the lay people, the congregants that sit in your churches, we love you. We really do. I know you get the little mail from somebody who didn't like your doctrine that week, or they didn't like the version you preached from, or all the little nicky-nacky thing. You know, Christian hate mail ought to be an oxymoron, but it's not. And in spite of that little stuff you get, the rest of us that are sitting out there that didn't write you a letter, we were nodding, we heard your message, and you changed our lives. And we appreciate you. We're thankful for you. I'll tell you also, having worked with pastors all around the world, that most of you need to slow down. Most of you think it's up to you to do all of Jesus' work. He's big, he can handle it. Slow down. You need to spend more time with your families. You need to spend more time with yourself. You need to take better care of your bodies. And you get a little bit more balance. Some of you are just so on fire and you're just working like it all depends on you. And it doesn't all depend on you. There's a bunch of us out here working together with you, and we're going to make it happen together, and Jesus is in charge. It's okay. Slow down a little bit, and remember that we love you.
Dave Ramsey.